Buffalo Common Council President Darius Pridgen is calling on the community for help to get violent criminals off the street. Good evening, everyone. There have been 22 fatal shootings and 1 fatal stabbing so far this year. Buffalo police have only cleared 2 of the homicides. Pridgen is launching a newsletter to encourage people to come forward with information. News 4's Rachel Monjovi joins us live with the details. Rachel?
Well, Callan, it was only a little over a month ago when Council President Pridgen came up with this idea. Families have been left with no answers and no closure, some for decades. This newsletter could help solve those murders and keep victims' memory alive.
My granddaughter, Samira Naylor, she was killed on Ontario Street in front of a church. She got shot directly in her chest.
Samira Naylor is one of hundreds of unsolved murders in Buffalo. She was shot and killed on her way home from the store in October of 2014. She was 17 years old.
We haven't heard anything, or, had they have any clues or who did it, or, what's going on.
But she hopes this article about her granddaughter will lead to answers. This coming week, Common Council President Darius Pridgen will officially launch the Unsolved Murders newsletter.
I just heard from so many families who would say, my son's crime is not, hasn't been solved. My daughter's murder hasn't been solved. What else can we do?
The newsletter features dozens of unsolved cases with pictures and bios about each victim. Some date back to the 80s.
It isn't a dent in the amount of homicides we've had over the last 10 years. This isn't just about homicides that may have happened in the last year. We're talking about homicides that could have happened 10, 15 years ago.
Pridgen's hope is that the newsletter will bring old cases to the forefront in hopes that someone will come forward.
I don't want to see just one homicide solved or 2. I'd like to see several that really get solved because somebody read this or somebody thought about it and we kept the memory of those folks alive.
That's what we need, so they won't be forgotten. They need to speak up, say something. It's okay today. Before I leave this earth, I believe it's going to be solved. Yes.
Pridgen will be handing out the newsletters starting Monday. There will be a postcard for people to fill out anonymously with information about the crimes. Because the newsletter is already in high demand, a second edition is expected in the near future. Reporting live, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 11.